Okay, today is September 27th, I think. It's about 10:15 a.m. All right, I want to show how I make artificial nests for purple martins. Okay, this is an artificial nest for a purple martin made out of polystyrene. This is like the insulating foam for, you can buy this stuff at any home improvement store. It comes in different thicknesses. This is 2-inch or 1.5 inch. They come in different thicknesses. You need a drill press. You need a miter saw. And you have to make yourself a jig. This is a jig where it slides onto the miter saw. Or not the miter saw, the drill press. And you can adjust it. You adjust the height of the drill press and the depth of the blade. Anybody that's worked a drill press knows what I'm talking about, right? So I already cut this on a miter saw. Made the marks, cut it on the miter saw. This is a 6-inch block. Most martin houses have 6-inch compartments, even if they're 6-inch wide. Doesn't matter how the depth. Depending on what you're using, you just adapt a jig to fit the size. So what you do is you slide this in, right? Well, I guess I should talk about this blade. See this blade? This was made out of an old, I think it was a 10-inch hole saw. Not hole saw, 10-inch saw blade from a circular saw, and it was cut in half. The teeth were ground off. A blowtorch was used to heat. A cut was made in the center. Blowtorch was made to heat up and shape and bend. If you see that little bit of a bend, right? Bend a blade in each direction. So you have one blade going this direction, the other blade going the opposite direction, and you heat them up and you hit it with a hammer and bend it, and then you grind it and shape it. This is a bolt, just a machine bolt. The threads are in there. It's got no threads. The threads were ground off and sanded down, and there was a slit cut in the middle, so you slide this blade into the middle, and this hole is drilled, and it was fastened this way. All right, this was made by a friend of mine named Harlow Fox, who he made a couple of these things. It'll last forever. I sharpen this from time to time. All right, so that is what cuts through this. You want to do this. You want to make a nest bowl. So basically I plug that in, and I have to plug it in, otherwise nothing's going to happen. Pardon me for the mess we got going on here. I'm doing this by myself, and the quality is not the best when you're doing it by yourself. Come on. All right. So this fits in there rather snugly. I just turn it on. Oh, damn. Wrong cord. I gotta unplug the... Alright, so here we go. You want to go slow. Doing it slow makes a better cut. Okay, that's all it is. Now look at the mess it makes. These shavings are everywhere. Normally what I do is I have a box hooked up to this with a shop vac that sucks all this stuff in, because I don't like all this stuff blowing around in the environment, because it stays around forever. So you just pull that out, you got a nice nest bowl. You can make it as deep as you want it. Why do you make these? Well, 2 reasons. Number one, subadults make terrible nests sometimes. They'll just nest on the bottom of the martin house and they have nest failure. The other reason is this provides a warm, dry, insulated place to have the martins lay their eggs and raise their young, particularly in cold springs. The problem is with these, they don't last forever. The house sparrows peck them to death. Just by wear and tear, the martins wear them out. So what I have learned to make, I don't make many of these anymore, because what I do is I turn them into this. And this is much more durable. It lasts forever. and I put it on the back of what's called coroplast. It's like they make the political signs out of. I glue it, or I could screw it in there. I don't cover the edge because this edge is protected from being pecked because it's wedged in the Martin house. I do the exposed side, so I do the top, front, and I do the front. And then I will glue a perch. I started doing that. So what I use for this, and it's a nice surface, nothing could poke through it, it's very durable, and it's easy to wash and clean. I use foam board insulation adhesive. So what I do is I just spread that on with my finger. You can see it's all my finger in details as I spread this thing out with my finger. So that's how I make these. The key to this whole thing is making something similar to this. I do have people that will do this on a table saw, and they make a jig similar to this, and they have something in the table saw spinning, and they just put the jig upside down and turn it around so it makes a nice round bowl. I've known people that have done that, but this is how I do it. It takes a little bit of work. You can't buy this commercially, obviously, but this is basically how I make these things. And the only problem now is the mess. It's just cleaning the mess up. But it's worth it if you can you only have to do it once. If you take it another step further and do this adhesive foam board stuff, it makes them much more durable, and you can just hose them out, wash them in hot water, and you're done with it. So I hope that makes sense. So you need a drill press, you need this, and you need a miter saw, and you got to make yourself a jig to make it work. Anybody that's really good with tools, this is not going to be a hard thing to understand. Till next time.